This video is brought to you by John Wick Chapter 4, only in theaters March 24th. Tickets available now.
You sure this is what you want to do?
14 million, it's a lot of money.
Not if you can't spend it.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 insane stunts in John Wick movies. For this list, in honor of John Wick Chapter 4's release, we're bringing you the most impressive scenes that actors and stunt performers have executed in the franchise. If you haven't seen the first 3 films, beware of minor spoilers ahead. Before we get to them though, here's a sneak peek at Wick getting himself in the middle of a traffic jam, or rather traffic circle, at the Arc de Triomphe. And if that's not enough John Wick, be sure to stay tuned until the number 1 entry so you can watch the rest of this scene. Number 10. A Great Fall. John Wick.
Вика видели. Да не, ничего. Второй этаж. Статус.
During Wick's journey to get justice for his dog and car, he has to fight a bunch of henchmen in the Red Circle nightclub. Watching Keanu Reeves make his way through the establishment was impressive enough. As the cherry on top, there's a moment where Wick is thrown over a railing onto the floor. Stuntman Jackson Spidell was actually thrown off the high point onto boxes. However, he was also dropped directly onto the floor from a much safer height. The 2 shots were combined into a seamless fall that looks absurdly painful. Fortunately for us, neither the heroes nor the people behind the scenes were hurt during this great fall.
Victor's dead.
Number 9. Brawling Around Books. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
Consider your origins. You were not made to live as brutes, but to follow virtue and knowledge.
Near the beginning of the 3rd installment, John Wick has to survive an attack from a towering assassin named Ernest in a library. The tall assailant was played by an athlete named Boban Marjanovic. Since the production ran into issues finding someone who could match his height, he actually performed the tight fight choreography himself within the real New York Public Library.
You sure this is what you want to do?
14 million, it's a lot of money.
Not if you can't spend it.
The team also added a prop book and a trick knife so the actors could make the battle look more real. And when Ernest had to deliver a powerful kick, Spidell stepped in to play Wick. Thanks to careful preparation and a trip to the real-life location, the brawl became a textbook example of how to execute a fantastic action scene.
Can I help you?
Russian folktale. Alexander Afanasyev.
Number 8. Staring Down Trouble. John Wick Chapter 2. Just after Wick managed to defeat a ton of enemies in Roman catacombs, he had to fight the intimidating Cassian.
You're not having a good night, are you, John?
Reeves and Common respectively do a fantastic job of making the battle look tense and exciting every step of the way. When the fight goes literally sideways onto multiple flights of stairs, stuntmen Spidell and Daniel Graham rolled into the scene. This action-packed duo actually threw themselves into the scene with no reservations. The only pauses they took are the ones you see on screen. By rolling with the punches, the stuntmen made this fight scene really stand out.
Do I need to remind you that there will be no business conducted on the Continental grounds?
No, senor.
No, sir.
Number 7. Sliding into Place. John Wick.
I know what you're thinking, Jonathan. We live by a code. Which is why I'm not the one telling you with a certain helicopter to a certain helipad is being fueled for a certain someone.
Wick becomes even more of a threat when he gets behind the wheel of a car in the final section of his debut film. Anyone who tries to take him down quickly learns that he can drive and take out enemies at the same time. When it comes time for the villainous Avi to learn that lesson, we're treated to some impressive driving.
Oh my God, I need a gun.
Reeves was behind the wheel when Wick decided to hit the antagonist with the car. According to first-hand accounts, the actor managed to execute a vehicle slide perfectly without sliding off the mark at all. Reeves proved that he was just as impressive inside of a car as he was outside of one early in the franchise.
No more bullets!
No more bullets.
Number 6. Trick Riding. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. One of the most striking images from the third film is the sight of John Wick riding atop a horse while a bunch of villains pursue him on motorcycles. Reeves definitely looks comfortable riding on the galloping animal. In order to up the ante, the actor does some great trick riding too. At one point during the chase, Reeves even hangs off the side and shoots one of his enemies. The production placed the actor on wires for that stunt and a few other tricky shots. After digitally erasing them in post, the end result looks breathtaking. Is there anything Reeves can't drive or ride?
Where are you going, Jonathan?
Number 5. Shattering Glass and Expectations. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
I know you believe you can keep this up, but I assure you...
When Wick is traveling to the top of the Continental, he has to deal with a few goons and a whole lot of glass. During the scene, the assassin is knocked into several reflective cabinets. The production had charges rigged to the bottom to get the glass to explode when they needed it to. In another portion of the scene, multiple fighters find themselves hurtling down through the glass. Although the production had to stitch multiple shots together in the end, stuntmen were actually lowered down on wires so viewers could really feel the impact of the fall. It's incredible that the actors were able to handle working around so much glass.
John, you're incredible. Exhausted. Outnumbered.
Number 4. Commanding Canines. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. From the first moment Sophia's dogs appeared on screen, it was clear that they were not to be messed with. They demonstrated how ferocious they could be when they leaped into battle alongside their owner and Wick. Prior to the scene, the canines were taught how to target specific places on the bodies of stuntmen. Additionally, Halle Berry learned how to tell the duo what to do at a moment's notice. This allowed them to jump and attack without having to edit a dog trainer out of each shot. While Berry didn't perform every stunt with her canine pals, what she was able to do with them while they were nearby is stunning to watch. The two dogs definitely deserve extra treats and high praise. Number 3. Vehicular Versatility. John Wick Chapter 2.
So we're giving everything up for a car?
It's not just a car. It is John Wick's car.
The first car sequence in the sequel film is full of jaw-dropping stunt work. Reeves actually smashes right into a vehicle in the sequence. At another point, a stunt driver pulls off a jump through a very tight opening. At another impressive point, Wick needs to get rid of a guy who's coming at him on a motorcycle while he's driving. The assassin decides to open up his car door and let the assailant crash right into it. Reeves was once again behind the wheel while the motorcycle was launched with the help of a cannon. Fortunately, a dummy was the one who flipped in the scenario. Its crash was one of the many highlights of the high-octane scene.
Mir.
Такой фраер хочет бить, нет предела.
Number 2. Yet another great fall. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Harley!
What do you propose we do?
It looked like Wick had finally earned some rest time after he slayed high-table enforcers. Unfortunately, his ally Winston shoots him and he's sent spiraling off the roof.
But what about him? What are we going to do about John Wick?
The long and painful fall wouldn't have looked as good without the work of the talented Jackson Spidell. After being raised to a certain height, he rolled off a pre-made structure and landed on a safe spot. Spidell then followed up that descent with a second fall onto yet another crash pad. Although the stuntman didn't fall from the exact height the movie suggests, it was still an impressive scene that made Wick's fall 100% believable.
So, the old boy keeps his hotel and you take the fall. Can't say I blame him. I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes.
Before we unveil our top pick, check out this extended clip from John Wick Chapter 4, which takes Wick and company to Paris, France. Keanu Reeves' impressive driving skills took 9 months of training, resulting in this thrilling scene involving wire work and martial arts, otherwise known as Kung Fu. Number 1. A multi-layered motorcycle scene. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Once Wick got on a motorcycle while being pursued by goons, we knew we were in for something truly special. A few stuntmen and dummies were filmed riding on the Verrazano Bridge in New York to get realistic scenery. Outside of those shots, Reeves and stuntmen executed the up-close fight choreography within a green screen warehouse. This allowed us to get a bunch of slick hand-to-hand combat without the actors having to risk trying to pull everything off at motorcycle speeds. Clever editing and great special effects brought all of the footage together into one glorious package. With the bar set this high, it's exciting to think how the filmmakers will top fantastic stunt work like this in the future.
I'd like to see the manager.
Of course.
This video is brought to you by John Wick Chapter 4, only in theaters March 24th. Tickets available now.